Hello my tigers, hello everybody, it's Alex. Welcome to another video where I diss myself once again. A lot of people told me, why are you so harsh on yourself, why are you so negative on yourself, why do you admit so much of your shit, so much of your bad qualities. And to these people I tell, it's not as simple as it looks. Things go much deeper than that. And it's not only about dissing yourself, it's about re-owning your other side that you disowned a long time ago. Which in other words means that if you split yourself in two pieces, in two halves, you love only the good half of you, but the bad half of you, you try to push it away. That's what I talked about in my previous video. When you admit your bad qualities, when you admit your approval chasing, when you admit your even sins, you start to feel more free, because finally this weight that you have put on yourself is gone, because you have no more expectations for you to be a perfect person, as nobody around you is. You stop caring so much about what other people think, and you start to live from your heart and soul. You start to do what you think is right, without so much caring about what other people think, which is something that I think for years, all of us in this community, we've been trying to do, to stop caring what other people think, because this is a disease. And right now, today, in this video, I'm going to speak about my disease when it comes to approval seeking. So, before I start with the list that I have created, approval chasing, let's get a little bit deeper into this. So, when you chase approval, basically, you put conditions on yourself in order to be loved from yourself and from other people. What I mean by this is that in general, how it's supposed to be in the best case scenario, is that we would love ourselves without any other conditions. We wouldn't put these conditions on ourselves, and we would just, excuse me for my position, we would just love ourselves for who we are, without any conditions, without us having to be rich, smart, handsome, liked by other people, high status and stuff like this. No, nothing. This is the ideal case scenario. Of course, it's very hard to achieve this, but we can try. And how we can do this is by letting go of our approval-seeking methods or approval-seeking behaviors. Letting go of the conditions that we put on ourselves in order to be loved. It's so crazy to speak about these things because it's there on the very, very back of our mind. Sometimes we don't realize them, and we need to go a little bit deeper into ourselves in order for us to bring them to the front and actually finally realize them, because there are some people that realize them, but there are many people that realize them, and as they say, it's more scary the things, not that things that you know that you don't know, but the things that you don't know that you don't know. So this, I feel like, is exactly this. How we behave is probably 80% subconscious thought patterns. So yes, let's go. Anyways, how I personally chase approval. I hope this is going to be eye-opening for you, how a person can chase approval without even realizing. So the first way I chase approval is by being smart. So basically what I mean is that if I'm not smart in a certain situation or in my life, if I'm not perceived as being smart, then I feel like I will not be loved. I have realized myself in many situations, social interactions, that if I don't say something smart, I don't feel useful in this conversation. I don't feel like an important person. I don't feel like I'm supposed to be there. I feel like I need to be to know things about every single topic, to be able to jump into every single conversation, and if I don't do so, then I feel like I don't belong in this situation. I feel like I'm not worthy of this situation or of these people there. It's a very shit condition, because if you think about it, nobody is actually so smart, especially at 22 years old. So if you always try to be smart, it's very hard for you to achieve this, because all of us are not smart. And there's one saying of Socrates, it's a Greek philosopher, I think much smarter than all of us. He says that I know that I don't know anything, or what was it? Znam, че нищо не знам. Yes, I know that I don't know anything. So a guy who is ultra wise and respected all around the world says that he doesn't know anything. So what do we have to say? Me and you watching, guys. My point is that I go into these situations, and if I don't feel smart in these situations, then I don't feel worthy. I chase the approval of other people. I want to say something smart and see in their eyes that they are kind of impressed. It's fucked up to say it like this, and maybe you think I'm weird or something, but if you take a serious look at yourself, you probably do something similar with being smart. Maybe you relate to the other things that I'm going to mention about myself, but I want you really to think about in what ways you try to seek the other people's approval. In what conditions do you put yourself on? What conditions, sorry for my English, you put onto yourself in order for you to feel finally loved by the other people. Anyways, guys, next thing is that being happy all the time. So how I chase approval is by trying to be happy all the time. This is the condition that I put myself in order for me to feel worthy. So every time I feel happy, I gladly show my face to other people. I gladly put myself into social situations. I gladly speak to people, and I feel finally worthy to speak to people. But the moments when I don't feel happy, I feel like I'm not giving any value to the other people. I feel like I'm not a good person to hang out with, to speak with. And you probably already know, because it's common sense, you cannot be happy all the time. So what I still do, is that when I don't feel happy, for example, when I'm at home and I'm not in a good mood, when somebody calls me to hang out, I just don't answer, or I just say I don't want to hang out, because I feel like in order for me to hang out, I need to be happy first. But many times I've proved myself that actually sometimes you don't feel happy, but you go out anyways, and you start to feel happy during the interaction, during the hangout with your friends. So this is something very important to keep in mind, because there's one saying, emotions follow motions. So you need to first do something in order for you to feel better. And sometimes when we don't do anything, we don't feel good. And sometimes we need to just get out of the house and do the thing, instead of just waiting to be happy. Or the same thing is like waiting to be motivated to do something. Unfortunately, this is not how things work, and if you wait to be motivated, you're going to waste a lot of time, and you're not going to act in probably 80% of the opportunities that you are presented with. So, with that being said, being happy all the time is a condition that I put on myself in order for me to be loved. And every time I'm in a bad mood, every time I'm not smiling like this, but rather having like a poker face or a sad face, I feel like the other people don't appreciate me. So I put myself this condition to be happy 24/7, and if I'm not, I don't feel like a good enough person. Anywho, next one is not drinking and smoking. So a little bit of a backstory. I was a football player for 10 years, and I was very serious about it, so I didn't drink, I didn't smoke, I didn't develop these habits. Now that I'm a older guy, not a football player anymore, not an athlete, I drink maybe now in the summer, because we hang out more with my friends, and maybe I drink once a week, I would say, like 2-3 glasses of something, cocktails, beers, anyways. But in general, I don't really drink. Maybe once every 2 weeks, something like this. When it comes to cigarettes, I've almost never smoked. I tried my first cigarette, I think, this year or last year, and I almost never smoke. I smoke shisha, I've smoked weed, but this, I don't know why I even say it. But yeah, I've always prided myself on not being a smoker and drinker. But if you go deeper into things, I've always prided myself on being a healthy guy, you know, being the healthy guy. No, guys, I don't smoke. But I don't do it in such a way that is humble and not caring. I've always tried to seek approval with it. Always when I say it, this is the thing about seeking approval. It's not that you say it, the thing, for example, I'm not a drinker and a smoker. It's the intention that you have, it's a little bit of a flex. You see with the other things that I have, it's a little bit of a flex. And the people who flex are the people who care about the opinions of others the most. The people who are seeking approval the most, they are the guys that are most flexing. This is you cannot argue with me on this. I'm 100% sure the people who are flexing, they need the approval of others, because the people who are humble and they don't care about the other people's opinions, they try even to hide these things. You know, there's some, for example, the rich rappers that are always flexing with their money, they are seeking the approval of other people, but there are billionaires that are much richer than them. Let's say Mark Zuckerberg, everybody knows him, but he wears like plain t-shirts and he doesn't flex his money, he doesn't have fancy cars or something like this. He just doesn't flex, he doesn't care of the approval of other people. And it's crazy to think, but the people who seek approval the most are the ones that are pushing these things on the other people the most. And that's what I do with not drinking and smoking. I always flex with being this healthy guy, when in reality I'm not so healthy, first of all. And second of all, this is something for me, it's not for the other people. They don't care, and of course they don't care, but you look at things from the outside. But when you look at things from the inside, I say these things in order for me to be more valuable in this conversation, in order to be perceived as a better person. But in general, I realize that nobody cares so much. And not being a drinker and smoker is something that I do for myself. In the end of the day, I shouldn't do it for other people. But I've always prided myself on being non-smoker, non-drinker, and I've always expected other people to tell me, wow, you're amazing, you're not a smoker, wow, I admire you so much, you're healthy. But in reality, even if you guys are smokers and drinkers, it doesn't matter. It doesn't make you less people than I am. And in general, everybody of us deserves to be loved and approved of other people, regardless of our bad or good habits. Guys, I'm going to go for water. I'll be back. It's a very hot day in Varna, so we gotta stay hydrated, kings. Next thing that I have for you, and the next thing that I kind of put conditions on myself and seek the approval of others, this is my jobs or my professional career. I don't have a career anyways, I'm a YouTube wannabe, but when I worked several kinds of jobs, of course it comes to this conversation. For example, you haven't seen your friends or your relatives in a long time, and they just ask you what do you do as a job. And I realized that whenever I did a job that I didn't think it's very nice in the other people's eyes, not very prosperous, not very, not something with future, I've always said, yeah, I do this thing. I try to get my way around with it instead of just saying things directly. Instead of just saying, because I was, for example, sorry if you hear the plane or the helicopter, I worked as a delivery driver. I was going from door to door with my car, and every time people ask me, what do you do? I try to kind of go, I say, yeah, now I'm a delivery driver, but it's kind of my side hustle, I do it on the side, only at night, and I never said in straight text, I'm a delivery driver, without caring what the other people are going to think. Because I always thought this job is shitty, it's not for smart people, you don't need any qualifications, you only need to know how to drive a car, and everything else is very simple. And I always had in the back of my mind, of course, the opinion of other people, their approval of me. And when I had this on the back of my mind, every time they ask me, I'm just scared to say it. I'm just scared to admit, yes, I'm a delivery driver, because in the end of the day, that is the fucking truth, and I need to say it. But I'm so scared of what other people may think. For example, oh, this guy, he's wasting his time, he's working this shitty job right now, blah 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 blah. This is a fucking disease, and I noticed this because there is a very big distinction between when I worked this job and when I worked as an English teacher, because as an English teacher in society it looked like something very nice, and I always said it with a flex, always try to put this thing in every conversation that I had when it comes to jobs. I always said it, yes, I'm an English teacher, without any yeah, I do it on the side, sometimes I do it, even though that was kind of the truth, it was kind of like my part-time job. I said it straight, I'm an English teacher, with a smile on my face, with pride. But when I was working animator, on the other hand, I was again ashamed of this. You know, I always try to explain myself. I couldn't just say, I'm an animator, I'm an entertainer in the hotels. I always said, yes, I'm an animator, I organize the sport events, we do some shows, I go on the stage, I dance. I always felt like I need to explain myself. Why am I doing animation? Why am I doing this lowly perceived job? And this is fucking crazy, because on the other hand, when I was the manager of the animation team or the team leader this summer, I always flexed it. But I always said, they asked me, what are you doing this summer, let's say, what are you working? And I say, I'm an entertainer. But I cannot say I'm an entertainer, even though this is the truth. And I say, but this year I'm the manager, you know, I have 5 other people that I have to manage, I have to organize this thing and that thing. And I always said it with so much pride, because in the end of the day, guys, I seek the approval of other people. I ask for their opinion. I want to have their good opinion on me. I want, when I say what is my job, the other people to be impressed or to smile and not to have any bad reactions. Because internally I'm scared that the other people are going to disapprove of me, or even deeper, they are not going to love me for who I am and what I do. And the same thing happened with my university, because if you didn't know, I studied in England for 2 years and I dropped out because I didn't like it. I didn't feel like it's the right path for me. And ever since maybe the first 3 months or the first year, let's say there, I wasn't passionate for this thing, for this university. But every time people ask me what do you do, I say it with the biggest pride that I'm studying in the UK, which here in Bulgaria is a very big deal to study somewhere abroad and in the UK. And even though I wasn't passionate for this, I was just seeking the approval of others. I just saw how everybody, because this is a little bit social brainwashing that, oh, when you go to university you're the big deal. I just noticed how all the people react so good on this, and I just got addicted to this feeling. Addicted to these people that just being so impressed with what I do, being so impressed that I'm studying in the UK, wow. And what I did is, I always said it to everybody, with a lot of pride, without any shame. I just said, yes, I study in the UK. People were impressed, I was happy. And even though I didn't give 0 fucks about this university, I said it like a part of me that I felt like people are going to finally approve and finally love me for this reason. And it's fucking stupid, because that's not who I am. Yes, if that's who you are, yes, if you're passionate in this, what you're doing, yes, just fucking say it to the world. But I was not passionate about this. This was a part of me that I wasn't really me in the first place, that I put out to the other people, because this is what got me the most approval. This is what made people like me more. And this is my drug, and still to this day, this is my drug. People liking me, people having good opinion about me. And if you live your whole life like this, it's fucking sad, guys, because you're, in the end of the day, you're never going to do what you really want to do. And if I really cared so much, and I'm glad I didn't care so much, I would still be in this university, because this gave me so much validation from my parents, from all the people that I spoke with. Wow, he's studying in the UK, wow, he's the big deal. In the end of the day, that's not who I am. The goal of these videos is to realize, I want to give you a personal example, how somebody can truly unfold on the internet and show his true colors, his true personality, and show that there is nothing to be ashamed about, even to admit your bad qualities, because everybody is human, guys. Everybody makes this kind of mistakes. And if I flex my biceps a little bit on the camera, it's because I like what I'm seeing. So the next thing, that's a very, very big thing, and I know many guys will relate to this, so let's get straight into it. This is being attractive to girls. The one thing that I always seek approval in my life is to being attractive to girls. Now, my girlfriend is probably gonna be mad about this part of the video, but anyways, that's the truth of also male and female nature, because let's be real to each other. Both girls and boys, both men and women, are seeking the attention of the other gender, and of course, if you believe there are only two genders. And this is absolutely normal. It's a subconscious process. Of course, we live in an open world. Men and women, we live together and we seek each other's approval and attention. This is completely normal. The other thing is how you act on it, but this is a different topic. Maybe we're going to speak about it sometime later in the future. But the truth is that we are always going to kind of seek approval for other people, or at least not seek it in an active way, but we're always going to be conscious about it when somebody from the other gender sees us or pays attention to us. It kind of feels nice, and this is, I don't think there's something that we can do about it, because that's kind of in our genes. But what I mean by seeking approval, by being attractive to other girls, is that I seek it in a way that if I see that other girls are attractive to me, that's when I feel good and worthy. And my whole life, especially after, let's say, the age of 16, I started to base my life around girls. My number one priority, number one goal was to be attractive to girls, and I did everything in order to be attractive to girls. So have my hair in a certain way, dress nicely, speak nicely, have some so-called game. And there is nothing bad about having nice haircut, dressing nicely, smelling good, speaking good, but not in a way that you seek approval from other people and from girls. I don't know if I can explain it in the right way, but I've always based my value, not always, of course not always, but for the majority of my life, I base my value around these people that I'm speaking about, these things that I speak about in this video. And being attractive to girls was something very, very important to me. And every time, for example, when a girl was attracted to me, I always had the urge to flex it. To flex it, for example, to my boys, to say, oh, this girl was so into me, oh, this girl liked me so much, oh, did you see how this girl looked at me, oh, did you see what she texted me? And I realized that the people that have the most self-love about them and have the most self-approval are the people who are more humble about it, more chill about it, because they don't have the need to say it to people in order to be approved. Because in my opinion, if you need to do something, if you need to say something, then it means that you're chasing approval. Yeah, you can still say it, but in a humble way. I still believe to some extent that girls like me, but I don't need to flex it so much anymore. Yes, it feels nice, but for girls it also feels nice when boys approach them or give them attention. But I don't feel the need, and I don't want to have the need to say it anymore, and to flex it anymore, and to seek it, to look for it anymore. One thing is that I have a girlfriend, it's a completely different game, but I don't need it. This doesn't define my value as a person and as a man. I hope that this sticks to you, because this is very important for young boys and young men. And the funny and interesting thing is that the moment you stop seeking the approval of girls, this is the moment when they start seeking yours. They start giving you more attention. They start liking you. It's very, very weird. It's very weird, but that's how things work. And just the lesson that I want to give you with this exact point with the girls is that you shouldn't chase their approval. You shouldn't base your value on how many girls you have something with, how many girls you kiss or sleep with. This is completely different thing. This doesn't define you, really. It really doesn't, because there are guys that have a lot of value. I mean, I believe everybody of us has a lot of value. But there are guys that have a lot of value and still get no attention for girls, which is absolutely normal. The next thing I base my value on, which is related to this, is having sex. So, as I told you, I don't have that much sexual experience. I had a little bit here and there, and I have a serious girlfriend. So having sex was always something that I chased with these girls. It's related to being attractive, because having sex is the ultimate appreciation and ultimate approval that a man can get from a woman. And that's why a lot of guys chase this. That's why I chased it throughout my teen years. And this is something that I always base my value on. And when I was a virgin, basically, I was always seeking, I was always looking for this because I felt that this is the top of the mountain. This is the thing that is going to make me valuable in front of other people, in the eyes of my friends, in the eyes of the people that I speak with. You know, having as many girls as possible, having a lot of sex. And later on I realized that this is not something so important. This is not something that I should bring so much up in my priority list. I shouldn't care so much about this because this doesn't define my value. I realized that I was a valuable guy even when I was a virgin, and there is nothing wrong about it. It's some realizations that I have, I think, this past couple of months, and they really changed my perspective on things. Because before that, and I still have this thoughts. I still flex to my friends about having sex with my girlfriend in not so direct ways, but I flex and then I realize that I flex. You know, I say, oh, we had sex in this place and that place, and I realize that I just seek their approval. I just want them to say, wow, Alex is having sex, what a tiger, what a beast. But it's not, I mean, it's nothing wrong to speak about these things. There's nothing wrong, really. I can say these things, but it's the internal motive, it's the intention that I have. And I realized I'm absolutely real with myself and with you guys, that sometimes I say just to seek the approval, just to say to my boys or to some other people, yes guys, I have sex, I'm the big deal. But there's nothing that, I told you, if you need to flex, if you have the need to flex, then it means that you seek the approval of other people. That's how things are going. That's how it is. And for many guys, having sex and being attractive to girls, it's one of the biggest things that they seek approval from. Because they feel like they put women on pedestal, and they feel like the approval of women is much more important than the approval of other people, and they base their life, I'm speaking from personal experience, to seek the approval of women. And sex is the ultimate approval that a woman can give you, that you're worthy. But if you base your value on having sex, what happens when you don't have sex? What happens if you base your value on being attractive to girls and you are not attractive to girls, or at this particular moment no girl pays attention to you, you don't have any girls that you have contact with? What happens then? You become valueless. And all these things that I mentioned in this video, when you put your value, when you put your internal value on these things, when you don't have them, you don't feel valuable, which is completely faulty way of thinking, because this is basing your internal value, internal self-love on external things in the environment. And the external things on the environment, they're always changing and flowing. You cannot predict them. And if you base your self-love on these external things that are always floating and changing, then your self-love is going to be like this. One day yes, one day no, one day yes, one day no. In the best possible case scenario, our self-love needs to be always at a constant high. But this comes from re-owning these bad things, realizing what we do on a subconscious level, and then coming from a better place. Loving each other for who we are, for our negative aspects, these that I mentioned here, and for our positive aspects, and who we are, what we want, what we do. Next thing is that, having a nice girlfriend. So I have a very nice girlfriend, very beautiful. She knows it, everybody knows it, all the boys that try to hit on her know this, all the people that I walk on the street with her know this. And this is my flex. On one hand, this is a male normal quality, you know, the woman that you're with is your flex, it's your, you know, thing. Everybody wants to have a beautiful woman, but it's not good to base your value around the girl that you're with. Because, as I said before, if you base your value on this girl, what if you lose this girl? Then you have no value. Then you want to keep this girl at any cost. Still not good. Because there is no other person that can define your value as an individual. There is no other person. And you guys, and also me, shouldn't seek a girlfriend that is only nice and only to flex with her. And there are many times that I gladly showed my girlfriend, you know, like a photo of her, and I just expected and I got the approval of other people. Yes, now you are worthy, bro. You have a beautiful girlfriend, now you are worthy of our respect. But that's not how things should be. You shouldn't be with a girl just because of her looks. That's what I believe in. It's very important, but not the most important thing. And also, we shouldn't base our value on the girlfriend that we have. We shouldn't base our value on the beauty of our girlfriend, because this doesn't define us, guys. Even if you have an ugly, not ugly girlfriend, but medium looking girlfriend, let's say, which is very subjective. I don't want to be so superficial, but you really love her and for her internal qualities and stuff like that, then these things don't matter. But I realize myself in many situations that I flex with my girlfriend. I really feel proud with her. And this is not a good thing, because I shouldn't base my value around one person. But yes, I feel proud, and I don't know if you can get me, because these are the good things about myself, you know, and I feel proud to flex them in the world. But when it comes to the bad things about myself, I just ditch them on the side, and I don't want to show them. And this is what I'm talking about. We shouldn't only, okay, if you're going to flex, we should also flex our bad qualities. Let's say I'm sometimes very psychopathic. Sometimes I'm thinking about how I can get value from other people. Don't draw me. Yes, so what I mean is complete self-love without any conditions, without any approval seeking. That's what I mean. And that's the goal. To love ourselves for everything, even for these bad, shitty things. And when you admit this to yourself and to other people, these bad, shitty things, your bad qualities, then you are fully ready to love yourself. Anyways, the next thing is that I notice myself how I'm chasing approval is having a deep voice. Oh my god, every time I meet somebody, I even got confronted on this situation recently, that every time I meet somebody I say, "Hi, I'm Alex," or something like this. No, it's like, "Hi, I'm Alexandra." You know, I change my voice because I believe that people are not going to approve of me if I have my normal voice. It's so fucking crazy, and I did this many times on YouTube. Many times. You know, before the video I try to warm up my voice and I try to speak more like this, just so I can get the respect of other men listening to this, just so everybody can feel kind of scared of me and take things more seriously. Fuck this shit, guys. I can have a voice break and I don't give a fuck. And that's how things should be. And I don't want to force myself in order to bring the most deepest masculine voice in order for me to finally feel the approval and love and respect from other people. This is a flawed tactic. That's what I have to say about this. The next thing is self-improvement. This is a very big topic. I'm a little bit in a hurry because the battery is going lower and lower and lower, and I want to finish this video while I'm in the flow state. I base my value on the self-improvement. I did many videos about self-improvement, and to be honest, 50% of it was because I wanted to flex to the world and to the people around me that I am doing something productive, that I am doing something nice, the good side of me, my good habits, that I'm training, that I'm sleeping well, that I'm on NoFap and all this kind of stuff. I wanted to put this out so the people can give me approval, so the people can see, yes, this guy is developing, yes, this guy is worthy. And this is a very controversial topic in the self-improvement industry, because people like Hamza say, yeah, but if you don't do the self-improvement, you're a Jeffrey, you're this and that. Yes, you kind of are, but at the same time, we need to love each other for everything that we do. And self-improvement is just a bonus, but 50% is self-improvement, 50% is self-acceptance. And yes, we need to do self-improvement for ourselves, but not for the approval of other people. Because would you do fitness just because it's healthy, or you will do it because you look good and you get the approval and attention of other people? This is something very controversial. Of course, we as humans seek the approval of other people. We are social, we care, but not so much that we base everything around this. Because I know many guys that are going to the gym and exercising just because of the approval and nothing else. Think about this for a second. If muscles didn't give you any approval, would you still do it? If having a nice car wouldn't give you any approval, would you still drive it? Because for something I'm very extreme, and for social media also, I realized that I don't care about the approval of other people. That's why I don't need it. I don't have the need of this nice car. My dream car is Toyota CHR Hybrid, because I like it. And I don't care what other people think. Maybe for the same money I can get BMW or Audi or some nice German car and get more approval, more attention, yada yada, but I don't care. About these things I don't care, but about these things on the list I fucking care. And I based my channels and all the videos, I wanted always to show the perfect self. I've hidden many, for example, bad habits that I have. Many times that I relapsed on NoFap and I watched porn, I hid all of these things from the people because I wanted to show only the perfect side of me, the side that is hardworking, doing stuff, you know, improving all the time, having good habits, etc., etc. Yes, I've hidden my skills, my problem. No, I seek to prove with my skills. For example, if I can speak English very well, here I always try to flex it somehow, you know, say, oh yes. Or for example, that I edit videos kind of good. I always try to put it somewhere. You know, guys, there is not a single conversation when I don't try to flex something. Because I'm always seeking the approval. And I notice myself, when I don't seek the approval, I don't flex, I'm more humble. If they ask me, do you edit videos good? Say, yeah, I would say quite good, but I have a lot of things to improve. But sometimes I just bring it up from out of nowhere and I say, oh bro, I can edit the video, now I'm doing this and that, I'm quite good at this, you know. For what? You need to realize that approval seeking is kind of like flexing, and if you don't have the things that you're flexing with, you don't feel worthy to be loved and to be respected. And this is a fucking disease. Yeah, of course we can flex from time to time, but the intention is right. If you flex and then you're looking into the other people's eyes and you're waiting for some kind of reaction, then this is fucking sick. Yeah, my skills is what I flexed, also hiding my problems. I've always tried to hide my problems. I've never said sometimes the moments when I was depressed, I had problems. For example, when I was about to drop out from uni, I wanted to seek the approval of other people. I always hid it. I hid it from my parents, from my family. And I always felt like I wouldn't be good enough in their eyes. I would be ditched, abandoned, not loved, not worthy enough. And that's why many times I hid my problems, I hid my bad sides. And that's what I'm trying to do with these videos on this channel. To show my bad sides, to show you with example that a person can open themselves up and still be loved, still be respected. And the funny thing and the interesting thing is that when you open up like this, when you admit these bad qualities, you are more relatable, people like you more, and you are much more likely to get the results that you want. And the last thing I have on my list is receiving compliments. So, I always wanted to receive compliments. Every time I receive a compliment, I'm so fucking happy. I feel so approved and my ego is tickled and I feel nice. Ego boost, as they say. But things don't end here. When I receive a compliment, I flex the compliment that I received to other people. So I extend this approval seeking by flexing the compliment to other people. So for example, very basic example. For example, some girl told me that I'm very good looking, I'm very handsome. I run to my friends and tell them, wow, this girl told me that I'm very handsome. Or for example, this is a real example. In the hospital, there is one guy that we shared room with. He's quite old, 57 I think he was. And he admired me for studying German in the room. You know, almost every day, almost every time. No, not every time. Every day I kind of studied or did something in German. And he approved me and he flexed, you know, he complimented me. And I couldn't wait to say this flex to everybody. To my parents, to my girlfriend, to my friends. To say it to everybody. Oh, this guy said that I'm very hardworking and very this and that. This is probably something that you already know. When you are chasing the compliment and the approval of other people, what if you don't get them, guys? What if we base our whole life on receiving compliments and approval and this look on other people's face? Then what if we don't get it? We feel shit and we based our self-love and respect on other people's reactions when they are not equivalent. For example, you are hardworking and disciplined and smart guy, but there is one girl that doesn't appreciate these things. She's looking for some stupid testosterone, steroid on juice, some monkey, gorilla type of guy who is fighting and is doing some illegal stuff. And she doesn't appreciate you. Does this mean that you don't deserve love, or it means that this particular person doesn't appreciate you? Because if you chase the approval of everybody, you cannot be yourself, guys. You become this chameleon that is always trying to be in front of certain people, put a certain face, and be liked. In this life, not everybody is going to appreciate us. The point is that we can put our real self in front. And the people who appreciate our real self, they are the real ones for us. Because yes, I can play that I'm a fuckboy and I don't care about self-improvement and philosophy and making the world a better place and studying and improving myself. And become a fuckboy and speak, oh yo, hey bitch, what's up, let's go to my place tonight. I can be this. But it's not who I am, and I'm going to attract the wrong people in my life. Because I seek the approval of this wrong girl, let's say. What's the point? I would rather be myself and attract the right girl in my life. This comes to everything. This comes to our hobbies, our passions, our projects. This comes to absolutely everything. And if we are ourselves, if we stop seeking the approval, if we stop flexing just to see this reaction, this look in the other people's face, then we're going to be much more real. Then we're going to admit the same way I do my bad qualities. We're going to be real. We're going to stop caring about so much what other people think about us. If we seek approval, we become addicts. We become prisoners to this approval. And this is a never-ending game, and we can never win it. I hope this video was valuable to you guys. Stay tigers, and I'll see you in the next one. Tschüssi.